Hey, everybody. It is Sunday, August 27th, 2023, and you are listening to episode 25 of Black Box Signal. I'm your host for this week's installment of the show, Chase Johnson, and back with me again, as always, co-captain of the rickety mess we call this ship, Dustin Miller. How's it going?
What up? Hey, honestly, I'm okay being a co-captain, but can I man the cannons?
I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. They're not very good, but you know,
I'll try my best. I can aim somewhat. I'll do my best.
Yeah. So what have you been up to this past 2 weeks? Because we took a little bit break because we had you had some wedding things going on that I attended.
Yes.
And then my other friend Zach, friend of the show, had some wedding things going on. So what else have you been getting into?
Trying to catch up on sleep. Had you and I and everyone else in mid Michigan had a hell of a day on Thursday night / Friday.
Yeah.
Getting hit by massive storms and losing power, so that was fun.
Yeah. I didn't lose power. It flickered, but there was definitely some trees down in my area. And then right down the road, I think it's still messed up. There's a power line that got hit by lightning. And
Yeah, we got hit hard. Like, I lost power until yesterday. No, today's Sunday. Friday. Jesus. And so, like, I remember texting you and be like, "Hey, man, podcast might not happen."
Or I might fly solo, or I might come to the hotel room that you were thinking about getting.
Oh yeah, thinking about getting. No, I got one. Because due to some medical needs, I need to sleep with electricity, and
Right.
I had got a hotel room during the day on Friday, and when I came home to hang out with Jess for a little bit before I went to my other job, the power came back on. So very technically, I still had the hotel room, and I still had to eat the bullet on that. But oh well, it is what it is. We survived.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We made it.
Yeah.
Good luck to everybody who didn't. Hopefully,
Yes.
hopefully, you'll have power soon. My parents just got power back on today.
Jesus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was rough. I thought it was cool because I love storms, but that's just me. My daughter was freaking out. She was scared. My wife's grandmother, something actually hit her window and didn't break the window, but popped the glass out of the window frame.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, I mean, she had to pop it back in, like, in the middle of the night. So that was scary, but, like, I'm just glad the window didn't break.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot worse. But, man, yeah, we had some wicked winds. And,
yeah.
A couple tornadoes.
I think
one tornado touched down in Williamston near us. I know that.
And then I think there was another one in Weberville.
Yeah.
I think
that sounds about right.
Yeah. All I know is that, like, from like around here, we were being clocked, I think, around 85 miles per hour.
Yeah. Which is pretty insane. For our
like
area.
It still should, like, if everything went differently, all things considered, we probably should have had a tornado here in where we live. Because even the siren, I live right next to a siren, and that was going off at some point. So
yeah. We heard it, and I couldn't tell if it was a tornado siren or a flood siren, because it was so far away. Yeah, probably both. But yeah, I guess we don't really have much more than that. That was enough excitement.
I mean, I want to live the video game side of it to the next thing, but yeah, let's get into the games.
Sounds good.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
All this work I did this week and not. I'm never gonna do it. Let's just be real.
Small steps.
Yep. So we will get into as spoiler free as possible because I just got to the opening of Act 3. But we got it. Somebody finally finished it on this podcast.
Finally.
Dustin, you finished Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. Funny enough, I finished it a little bit about an hour ago.
Okay.
I was trying my hardest to finish it before today. Um, it is, all things considered, I haven't touched quite a few games. There's still some games to come out, but I think if the year was to end now, this would be my game of the year.
Okay.
It is.
Me too, Final Corgi. Me too. I'm there with
Yeah.
you.
Good luck. It is very, very good. I love the story. I think most of it is very well written. I say most because there are some there is some dialogue during the final fight that I thought came off a little like stunted a little bit.
Okay.
Only because it looked like they were trying to catch up with like the lip flaps of like what would be the Japanese dub.
Right.
And so didn't come through as clear as I thought it should. There is an end credit scene.
Okay. So
when you beat it, we'll talk about it.
So are you saying that there could be a Final Fantasy 16 too?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. All I'll say is that the ending leaves it up to the viewer's interpretation.
Okay. That makes me feel better because this series has a history of doing some 2s and 3s in some of them, and they were not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, as if you are a completionist who wants to do all the side quests, you're gonna get burned right at the end. And by that I mean when you go to do the final mission, the final quest to beat the game, a myriad of fucking like side quests pop up. There, I think, rough guesstimate, about 25 side quests pop up.
Oh god.
Right before the end of the game. I did them all. I've been working at it since like maybe Tuesday or Thursday is when they all popped up. I did them all. I highly recommend still doing them. It fills in a lot of story beats for a lot of the side characters and Clive.
Yep.
You also, if you do that, you have the ability to get the second best weapon in the game.
Okay.
Reason why I say second best is because there is, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler. Every Final Fantasy game has the ultimate weapon.
Right.
Every Square Enix game basically, I mean, Kingdom Hearts has it.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get the ultimate weapon in your first playthrough. You have to do a new game plus with Final Fantasy difficulty mode turned on to get the ultimate weapon, and even then you can't get it until the end of the game.
Well,
because
that reminds me of Drakengard 2, which was I always bring these up on the podcast, I swear. In Drakengard 2, which was the one that wasn't written by Yoko Taro, this is not going to make any sense, but you can start as a new breed, which is a human dragon hybrid. If you complete the game 3 times in ascending difficulty, it gets you the final ending and allows you to start your next playthrough as a new breed when everything's unlocked at that point. Instead of like waiting till the end of the game to become one. So yeah, that kind of reminds me of that, which means no thank you. I'm not even gonna bother.
The only reason, like, this is the thing that bugged me, is the whole reason why you got to do the new game plus is because you need the upgraded versions of the elemental swords. Like, you know how you get those elemental shards every time you beat one of the icons, and you get like Ice Brand and Fire Brand and all those ones, right?
Right.
You need to get all the upgraded versions of those, and you can only get those in the new game plus. Because when you start the new game plus, you start at your level cap, which I think is level 50 in the base game, and you start with all your stuff, and then you reforge them to make them stronger. So I will probably not be going for it, if ever.
I'm definitely not going for it. Now that you've told me that, it's like, nope.
No.
Um,
Still go for the second best, but yeah.
did you do all the hunts too?
So here's the thing. I did them all but two.
Okay.
Only because I was so excited to finally do the last mission. I clicked to start it, and then that's when I realized I forgot two of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because the rest of them don't unlock until that section right before the end of the game.
Okay.
And a lot of the side quests actually have you cross paths with a lot of them.
Right. Yeah, I've noticed that even just in the
Yeah,
earlier ones.
yeah, and the same thing happens at the very end of the game, and I knew there was two left. You need to beat a few of them to get the good weapon. You beat them in the course of doing the side quest. So I had all the stuff. I built the sword, and then I started the final quest, and then I realized there's still two more that I didn't touch. So yeah,
Womp womp.
yeah.
All right. So overall, though, you would recommend.
Highly recommend.
Is this your favorite Final Fantasy so far?
Yes, whole 100%.
Now,
Out of the
okay.
ones I've played,
Remind me again, because I think you've said it, but I can't remember all which
yeah,
ones. Now you've played 7 Remake,
7 remake. I've
one.
played one.
Okay.
I've started in various sections of like 8, I think 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Um, I played 14 online for a hot minute.
Okay.
Um, and I started 15 but couldn't get into it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So far, for me, because like I said, I finally got to the end of Act 3, which is when you fight Bahamut.
Mhm.
And that was a sweet fight. It was a long ass fight.
Oh
It was
yes.
real dragged out. I actually was staying up late to play it. Like I stayed up till 1, and I was like at midnight, I was like, oh, I'm near the end of this fight. And then 1 rolls
No.
around, and I'm like, I'm just now done
Yeah.
with it. Uh I will say, as someone who's played pretty much all of them, so far, this might be the best Final Fantasy since 10.
Okay.
Going on, and 10 goes all the way back to the PS2. So I think and a lot of people didn't like 15. I felt it was good, wasn't like amazing. I didn't feel like it was as good as some of the other ones. It was kind of a weaker one. But I still enjoyed it. But this one blows 15 out of the water. I have a lot of people that I know
Oh
that
yeah.
did not like 15, and specifically did not pick this game up because they didn't like 15. And I'm like, no, you need to pick it up.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. Final Corgi, man. 7 remake. No slander here. That is still a fantastic game. This one just edges out a little bit.
Well, and I also will say that we have only gotten part 1 of 3 of 7
Yeah.
remake, so
I will
it remains
also
to be
say
seen.
when it comes to me and my personal views, if it's high fantasy, it's already going to be higher on the list for me because I like high fantasy so much more than like steampunkian
Right.
worlds.
Yeah.
So
I still hold to my one opinion that I had a couple weeks ago of let's have Final Fantasy 17 go full sci-fi and be in space.
I think it'd be cool.
Minus guns, because I don't think gunplay would be fun. Well, maybe it would be.
Bring back Squall Sword and then we'll
Gun
be okay.
blades, yeah, gun blades. That's
Yeah.
like the best part. That's like the best part of 8. Is the gun blades. So I have been playing, it's been a hot and heavy release week. And you know me, when a new release comes out, I decide to time travel and go back, and I started with Quake 2 Remastered. Um uh
How is that? How is that? I know you were very excited for it.
I love it so far. It's
Okay.
Quake. The only one complaint that I have about the controls, and maybe I'm just a dummy and could not find it in the options. So you know how like in Splatoon it has tilt controls for your like
Yeah.
aiming. It has that in this for and I'm playing it on PS5. Um,
Interesting.
so it kind of throws me off because I'm used to using thumbsticks like to
Hmm.
aim. But other than that, you know, as a hardcore Quake 2 aficionado, as soon as I installed it, I didn't even go into the campaign. I went right into a multiplayer deathmatch match, went and found the railgun and started blasting fools. Um,
Did you win?
no, no,
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
definitely did not because it's been a very long time since I played Quake 2, and there's
Mhm.
been a very dedicated community, and there's crossplay. So
Ooh,
the PC players were annihilating me, um, but I I remembered where
they
the
don't
rail.
they don't have aim assist for console players in
They do.
Quake?
They do.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
don't help. Um,
Okay.
yep, which is why, again, run for the railgun, pick that up,
Mm,
and
mm.
just start, or the super shotgun, and just start blasting fools. I'll probably have a little bit more to say on that. Like I said, all I did was play like four team death, or not even team death matches, they're regular death matches. Because I just wanted to play it again. It runs at like a really high frame rate. It's super smooth. It still has the chunky graphics though, just upres, so I
Nice,
find that
nice.
hilarious. Yeah, it's I had so much fun just like I and it was an infinite death match too. So I just like it was just a
Ooh,
bunch of people like going in there and just trying to get
just
kills.
killing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Uh
awesome.
guns feel good, chain gun feels good.
Awesome.
I still hate the grenade launcher, so that means it works if I still hate it.
Mhm.
The rocket launcher still is awesome. All the weapons are still cool. Yeah, I but railgun, still all about that railgun. Yeah. And then all joking aside, the actual new release I got into,
Ah,
which
yes,
I didn't
yes.
make it as far as I wanted to because I suck at from games, and the first boss whooped my ass so many times. I have been playing Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, which I plan on streaming later on today. So if you all stick around with my channel, and I'll post the VOD also on the Black Box channel. But yeah, I've been playing that game. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? There's no real spoilers that I
Nothing.
can give you.
Nothing.
So okay. Um,
I mean, I'm very hyped. I'm very excited to play. I have it downloaded. It was just like I really wanted to get 316
yeah, I
before I
hear
got
you.
started because I mean, we know each other very well. When it comes to big mechs fighting other big mechs or other big creatures, that can pull our attention away very quickly.
Yeah. I will preface this by saying a lot of people who are expecting Mecha Souls. That's what a lot of people were saying, like, oh, it's going to be a Dark Souls but with mechs. No, it's an Armored Core game. It's very much
Yeah,
an Armored Core game in the traditional sense. You have repair kits which are like your Estus flasks, so like it has little nods. Um, and
Dark Souls Gundam is amazing. That's so funny.
um, yeah, yeah.
Speaking about that, do you want to say what you've made your mech into? Sort of.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna post a picture of it later, probably on my Twitter. But I totally made mine look like the Gundam Exia. Um,
That's so cool.
I that and that's another reason why I didn't get very far in it is I got through the first boss and then I spent like a good hour and a half just customizing my mech paint job. Um,
That's what I'm afraid of. Like I'm afraid that I'm going to
yeah.
get into it and like listen, creator customization is one thing, and I can easily dump in like an hour of time into that. But if it's a robot,
I
not to
mean,
mention like further down the line, I'm sure we're gonna like upgrade like or like unlock new weapons and abilities and shit.
so yeah, like, and you can even paint the weapons too. So like the weapons can be painted.
Oh,
So like each item has about 7 different things you can customize on it.
God,
So like
I'm gonna be
you
there
have your
for
yeah, you have
hours.
your main color, you have your secondary color, you have your support color, which is like the inner supports that hold everything up, like they kind of like the
Hmm.
underneath frame. They've got that. They have like another one called optional that like is just like another small color. They have the device setting, which is like the green laser in the eye. Well, you can make it any color actually.
Hmm.
I just made mine green because Exia. Um, yeah, and then like I said, you can customize every single like I said, there's about 7 things on everything, including the weapons. to customize. Um,
I'm gonna be there forever.
yeah, it like I said, that's why I'm not as far as I wanted to be because I spent up until this podcast playing it before I started like getting everything ready.
Hmm.
And I was customizing that to at first I made it look like Unit 1 from Evangelion, but then I was like that's too easy. It's mostly purple. So and they honestly had a color scheme in there that was like
Oh.
90% Ava cuz they do have some preset color schemes that
Hmm.
are based on some of the factions in the game that I haven't met yet because I only played through the first mission. There's factions, there's corporation colors, they have a subcategory called light color schemes and dark color schemes. So if you don't really want to get too crazy in the customization and you want to find one that gets you like 90% there, you can put one of those on and then go in and just tweak a couple things if you really don't want to. But yeah, I literally pulled up on my phone, I pulled up like a picture of Exia and just started like tweaking everything everything.
Oh, because I know I had told you before the podcast, but I'm trying to decide of what I want mine to look like.
Mhm.
Um, Gurren Lagann is up there,
Right.
but I gotta have a drill. If I don't have a drill, I'm not doing it.
Well, you might get a drill
Um,
later.
yeah, true. Um, or I might
I
do a
couldn't tell
Megazord.
you because a Megazord would be cool. Classic
Like,
Megazord.
it depends
What's your
because
favorite Megazord? I guess I never asked you
ooh,
this being
no,
the
this
Power
is
Ranger
we
guys.
should not.
Oh
Power
man.
Rangers to me is wrestling to you.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
and I will die on this hill. I understand the nostalgia, but the original Dino Megazord's not the best.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. You know, I can't really say anything because I was just an OG guy. I can't really. I watched up until Power Ranger Turbo. It was the
Okay.
last one with the original cast,
Uh
basically,
huh. Yeah.
and then
Turbo.
they did Power Ranger in space after that,
Ooh, yes. Yes.
and that's where I fell off. I didn't hate it. That was just when I kind of like,
You just grew out of it.
yeah, I aged out. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, but yeah, the Megazord would be cool because what Gurren Lagann's only like what red, pretty much.
It has like red, black, gold. Uh,
Okay.
there's some green here and there. Uh, it also depends on which version of Gurren Lagann because like Gurren Lagann does upgrade through the series, so
That's true. Yeah.
I could get. There's just so many different ideas.
Yeah. Yeah,
Psycho Zako color scheme,
Psycho Zoc. Oh my god, that would be sick. Final Corgi pulling out the oh man,
dude.
you have not seen Gundam Thunderbolt, have you?
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's another UC Gundam. Yeah, Psycho Zaku is sick looking.
I'm
Um
gonna look it up.
yeah. Uh I guess getting into the gameplay though, it's a lot of because like I said, this isn't really spoilers. It's a lot of boost management. Think of your boost as like your stamina meter in Souls games.
Right.
When you're on the ground using it, because you can run like normal, or you can
Mm-hmm.
do kind of like that skating like around. When you're on the ground, it doesn't use any of it, but when you're up in the air, like boosting up, it starts to drain that meter, and when you dodge, it drains that meter. So not only does it drain your stamina from
Oh.
dodging, it drains the stamina or the boost meter from just trying to get up into a high spot. So you got to it's a lot of managing. When I was in that boss fight, when I finally got to the end of it, there was just a
Mm-hmm.
lot of me mashing. It's X and square. X is your jumping, square is your it was just a lot of me just managing that. You also have a limited amount of ammo that you start every mission with. They give you a generous amount.
Ooh.
Like I've never run out, but it is something you have to
Uh,
keep an eye on, and I'm sure it's something you're gonna have
okay.
to keep an eye on later. One thing that I have noticed is the melee, like your beam saber ish equivalent, that
Mm-hmm.
does the most damage of
Okay.
anything. So getting in close, which is sometimes hard, I think is going to be pretty important in this game to
Okay.
really chip down that damage. You
Good to
have
know.
the missile pods can lock onto multiple targets, so that's sweet by holding R1. R2 fires your main weapon, L2 fires your left weapon, which is your melee weapon. And then R1 is like your shoulder mounted rockets, which I only have one right now, so it's R because you just start with one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing eventually you'll get a second one. I haven't done it yet, but they said play through the tutorial missions, like the battle simulators, because if you play through the battle simulators, you unlock more parts. So that's probably the next thing I'm
Okay.
gonna do. Is do that. So, um, But yeah, it's definitely scratching that itch. They don't zip around like Gundam. They zip around fast, but they have a weight to them that isn't in like
Okay.
Gundam, so it's very chunky. Which I kind of
Hmm.
like. And I always loved boost management. That's what I liked about like Gundam Versus and what was it? Oh, what was that one that I played on stream? They have such weird names. Oh yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam versus Maxi Boost on. Yeah, that's the name of it.
Is that the one I was watching you play one
Yep,
time?
yep, and that was the one that had like the
Okay.
ridiculous
Yeah.
boost management and boost canceling. And you can
Yeah.
do a lot of that in this. And I can see it just like expanding later on as you like equip different things. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it is really so far. Like I said, I'm not super far into it, but man, it is definitely scratching that itch.
Ooh. Okay.
And highly
I
recommend.
might. I'm sorry, Chase. I might have to actually leave the podcast right now, because I gotta go play Armored Core 6.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
been the episode of Black Box Signal. No. um, and yeah, so I guess I added this for my section, but I might as well just get into the news because it is kind of news. Does that sound good?
Hmm. Sure.
So I got 2 weeks worth of news for us here, but we're gonna jump in kind of to what happened this week. Gamescom was going on in Cologne, Germany,
Ooh.
and I watched opening night live. There's not really any other major events. There was a Destiny live stream. There was an Xbox stream, which they announced. What got me excited, they announced Persona 3 Reloaded. So Persona 3 fan.
Cool. Cool.
So and as messed up as this sounds, in Persona 5, you would rip off your mask to summon a persona, and it would be
Hmm.
like a mask stuck to your face, so it would like you'd start bleeding. In this one, in Persona 3, I'd never played Persona 3, but I know it's one of the darker ones. You literally shoot yourself in the head to summon a persona. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So I'm excited for
Okay.
that. That wasn't shown at opening night live. And I'm not going to go through all these games, but
Hmm.
the ones that stood out to me is they opened up with a Starfield, big Starfield thing. Todd Howard was there, showing it off. The only thing that disappointed me, and I've said so far that everything about this game looked good. Um, they showed like the other gameplay that is just a lot of dude flying around in a jetpack shooting people. And I was like, and this is where it looks boring to me because it just
Yeah.
starts to look like every other Bethesda. It looks like Fallout with jetpacks. Yeah.
Oh no, not Todd.
Our Lord and then Groovy Llama, our Lord and Savior Todd Howard. um so yeah, I it looked all right until they showed that, and then I was like, I feel like I would rather do everything else in that game other
Hmm.
than the combat. The combat looks very rote and boring. At least from what I've seen. It was a very short snippet that they showed. It was just eh.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they showed off Little Nightmares 3, uh,
Okay.
which looked pretty good. Black Myth Wukong looked all right. Um, One that I got excited about, Age of Empires 4 Anniversary Edition is coming to Xbox. Which I'm a
That's pretty
big
cool.
Age of Empires fan. Don't have an Xbox, but I love me some Age of Empires. This one was weird. Zack Snyder came out, which I was like, oh, that's a big get for this. But he showed off Rebel Moon, the show that's coming to Netflix
Hmm.
or movie, and then they were like, oh, and we're making a game, but didn't have anything to show for the game. And it just
Okay.
felt very that's why I said in the note that this was weird. It just felt very out of nowhere. And it's like this doesn't seem like the right audience to necessarily show off a trailer for a Netflix thing. Um it like
Yeah.
it read like they were trying to get somebody like for Summer Games Fest where they got Nick Cage to come out, but Nick Cage came out to talk about Dead by Daylight. So it kind of fit. This was kind of
Yeah.
like Zack Snyder was like, "Hey, I'm promoting my new thing that's a TV show or movie. I don't even remember what it is. I think it might be a two-part thing. I don't know. But oh, by the way, we're making a game, but we're not really going to talk about it, even though this is Gamescom. So that was a little weird.
To be fully honest, they might not be able to,
True, true. It just like I
because
said,
it's technically based off of a movie, and with the current strikes going on, they probably can't talk about the movie.
Yeah.
and
Um,
by extension, the video game.
yeah. They showed off Assassin's Creed Mirage, which because it's going back to like the old style of Assassin's Creeds, which I liked,
Mhm.
it perked my interest a little bit, but then I remembered quickly that it's an Assassin's Creed game and those haven't been great for a while. So meh.
I'm
Um,
so out of it. I probably won't even touch it.
um, they showed off, let's see. Payday 3 is getting an iced tea update. I found that funny.
That's hilarious.
That's really hilarious. Let's see, going through this. Showed Sonic Superstars.
Whoa. Okay. No. 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 You cannot. Okay. Listen. I watched. Okay. So Sonic Superstars, great, but it's the next one we need to talk about. That trailer. Don't scoff. Just hold your breath for a second. That trailer. Watching. I'm gonna spoil the trailer for everyone. Watching, and I know it's probably it. Watching Sonic go practically Super Saiyan 2. I'm excited. I haven't even played the game, and now I want to play the game.
they did that in Sonic 2. They did that in Sonic 2.
Listen, I know.
Yes,
I
they showed off the
know.
trailer for Sonic Frontiers: The Final Horizon. That is like the big thing that they showed, which was DLC for Sonic Frontiers. Which, if you know how I feel about Sonic Frontiers, yeah,
I'm just gonna
it's
let you live in your spotlight over there. That's fine.
okay. You cannot disagree with me about that. Everybody hated Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, I bought it thinking like I know this is gonna
See,
be a
that's
mess.
the weird thing is the people that I look to for Sonic stuff were saying they enjoyed it.
I don't know what they're. It is like a Breath of the Wild that was made in the Xbox 360 era. That
I mean,
world
they did.
is so empty. It is so
Like, here's the
lifeless.
thing. I am not saying that it is like they were not saying it's perfect by any means. They were just saying it was good, and that like they understand the complaints of it feeling very sparse and way too open. But they preface, and like I know it's a probably like a bad like games mechanic, but they're like once you start getting like super duper fast, it doesn't feel that small, like it doesn't feel that big anymore because you're just zipping through everything. So I kind of want to pick it up and I want to touch it. I want to play it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give you that. It's your
Okay.
right. You're right as a human being.
I don't like when you say that though.
Yeah. Maybe they'll fix the game. Just like this next one that I'm jumping here, and I actually felt like this looked good. This will make Groovy Llama very happy. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty did look good. The trailer that they showed did look good. So did the original trailer when they showed it off, but we won't go there. I It's got me extremely cautiously optimistic. I will say that. The new abilities that they kind of teased and stuff, like I was like, okay, all right. I'll get I'm required by Groovy Llama now to give it a shot. But
Groovy Llama made me sit down and watch it. And I kind of want to play the game again.
Yes. For those who don't know, Groovy Llama is Dustin's fiance. So
yes. But I kind of want to play the game. I kind of because she said with the new update, they highly recommend starting over because they updated a lot of the writing. They updated basically most of the game.
okay.
Like clothes are now just aesthetic. They're not actually like they don't serve a purpose other than to just look cool, which I think is awesome because
Brilliant move.
The clothes in that game are probably some of the best things about it. But if you want to look cool, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the best armor.
Right.
The whole I am forgetting all the terminology about the game. She could talk about it for hours, but like the skill point tree stuff has been like overhauled. There's an entire new skill tree in there that she's like super duper excited about. And of course, like you saw like the new like kills and the new attacks and all the new abilities. So yeah, I might restart the game. I might play it again.
Yeah, and I saw that too. There are consequences to installing too much cyberware. See that gives me excited. There's stuff like that.
See, I think Grugama, I hope you remember me saying this when we were first playing the game. That was something I had said, especially after watching Edge Runners, because Edge Runners made a point that if you modified yourself too much, it started like wearing you down and causing issues.
Right.
But that was never in the game. And I was like, I could put so much shit into myself, but it doesn't affect me. I want that
Right. There should be
difficulty
a
spike
trade-off.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the last couple we'll kind of touch in here. I mean, everything else was just kind of a lot of this. And Jeff Keighley kind of came out and kind of said like, "Hey, this is a lot of stuff that we already know about. We're just showing off." Mortal Kombat 1, they unveiled a few more characters. They unveiled General Shao, who was the reincarnated version of Shao Kahn. They showed off young Raiden, because if you don't know, in this one, Raiden and Liu Kang have kind of flipped roles. Liu Kang's the god, now Raiden's kind of the chosen champion of Earth. And then the big one for my wife, Shauna, she will be really excited. They showed off,
waiting for this.
They showed off Queen Sindel, who is good question mark in this one, which she started good originally, but she's more good in this. Which Shauna was that's her main. She always played as Sindel.
Yeah.
I think it kind of leans into the fact that my wife's a hairstylist and she uses her hair mostly.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that her character model actually looks Asian this time, not like some white lady. Yeah, like didn't that never made any sense to me. But yeah, still looks great. Can't wait for that game. It's less than a month away. Still figuring out the logistics, but we are definitely me and Shauna were talking last night. We're definitely going to try to do a co-stream of me and her playing that
Okay.
together. And then the last one they showed off, the big one, was Alan Wake 2. Still looks really good. I really need to replay Alan Wake 1 because I've forgotten so much about that game.
I can never get into them.
Really?
I don't know why.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
See, I'm a huge fan of Remedy. I really like a lot of their games. I like Control. Control is really good.
I've heard a lot of good things about Control, and that if I was to pick one up, I'd probably pick that one.
And they're all set in the same universe, so that's the interesting thing. But yeah, that was pretty much most of the important stuff from Gamescom. We got a few news stories that we'll touch on, a couple other small things later on. But yeah, overall, it was all right. I thought it was stupid that kind of like at the Game Awards when that kid came up on stage randomly and was like, they had another one of those again. Some guys came up demanding that they wanted to see more Grand Theft Auto 6, and I don't care. I mean, I'm excited for a new Grand Theft Auto. I've always been like a fan of that series, but I'm not to the point to where I'm like necessarily itching for it because I know it takes forever for those games anyway. Like, why do you got to be an asshole like that? And where's GTA 6 to come up on stage and like interrupt a show to just say, like, fuck you? Like, that's all I gotta really say is like, seriously, like, fuck you.
Listen,
like,
and Rockstar has gone on record saying that the more that you bug them and the more you try to leak their shit, they're just going to prolong it.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep pushing it back because they have said we'd rather the viewer or the player experience the game for the first time while playing the game, not watching leaked gameplay. And so that leaked gameplay that came out, was it last year or something like that?
Yeah.
They retooled it and scrapped it because they wanted to be changed.
Everybody was shitting on it too because it like had like kind of like dodgy frame rates and stuff. And I was like, the first thing you do in game development is you make the game, then you optimize it. You fucking morons. like there's no other like way I can say it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, no, like you're dumb. Like that there's like it's just stupid. Like congrats, dude. You got 20 seconds on stage before you were pulled off by security. To say, I want GTA 6. Yeah, so does everybody else. Congrats. Like morons. Now getting into the news proper though, and this first story comes from Kotaku. The Xbox 360 store is shutting down for good in July of 2024. Xbox 360 Marketplace, the online console's online store, will cease operations July 29, 2024. After that, 360 owners will no longer be able to make new purchases or games of entertainment for their consoles, but they will be able to continue to download things that they've already purchased. Sucks.
Someone get the completionist on the line so we can rebuy all that stuff.
It sucks, but I'm surprised that it took this long to pull that store down.
Honestly, yeah. But I will say at the same time, like 360 had a huge base of people who still use it to play a lot of the old school like Call of Duty and
it
Halo
was
games.
like a lot of people forget, like it was the kind of the first big like console online marketplace. Really, like it was really what got Sony to get its shit together. Nintendo eventually followed suit, but you know, Microsoft was like the first one to really be like, no, this is what we're gonna do, and they took the ball and ran with it.
R.I.P. to the olden days.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to like Xbox Arcade.
Yep. Castle Crashers. Oh,
dude,
Castle Crashers.
Why are we brain melding right now? Like I was just about to say Castle Crashers.
That was such a good game.
Dudes, I still play it every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Yeah. So many games. So many games.
Yeah.
It's like it's truly is kind of that end of an era moment. A little bit. Yeah.
So sad.
R.I.P. Yep. Groovy Llama said in the chat. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Next story comes from The Verge. And
wait, did you call her Poopy Llama?
No, I said Groovy Llama.
I thought you said Poopy Llama. Sorry. Continue.
I would not be that disrespectful. We may disagree about Cyberpunk, but I would not be that disrespectful.
I thought you were calling her Poopy Llama because of Cyberpunk.
No. Hate the game, not the player.
I'm waiting. I'm watching my camera to see if my door opens, see if she busts in here.
Next one comes from The Verge. A little bit of the smaller story. There's a new strike system. We kind of added that Microsoft is adding some new moderation tools to their chat. There's going to be a new strike system. And from what I understand, I'm just kind of skimming through this article. It's going to be kind of like a point system on a license. Like, you're going to get up to, where is it? I think they said 6 or 8 strikes before you're banned, which I think is really generous. And strikes last 6 months. So they fall off after 6 months. Let's see if I can find it. 6-month period. Let's see. Yeah. 8 strikes. Yeah. Within a 6-month period, it will get you banned, which I think is more than generous.
Yeah,
that's like,
I think it could also go really quickly if you're a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Good on them. Being more transparent about it. Next one comes from Video Games Chronicle. This is so perfect. THQ announces a new South Park game, which I find it funny because THQ hasn't been relevant in a while, and now they're making a South Park game, which, in my opinion, also hasn't been relevant in a while. But I will say, South Park, what was the first one? Stick of Truth was pretty good, and Fracture Butthole was still all right, but wasn't as good as Stick of Truth. So I don't know. That would be kind of cool. I guess it's going to be the purchase.
Idle Corgi says, I need it.
Said that it's going to be revolving around. The game is called South Park Snow Day.
Okay.
Trying to read a little bit more here.
Is it based off the cult classic late 90s, early 2000s movie called Snow Day?
Oh my God, Giant Bomb said the same thing on their podcast. Funny. Jan was like, is Josh Peck gonna be in it? Yeah, that is hilarious that you said that. But I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Stick of Truth was a lot of fun, like I said. Hopefully the humor is better than the recent season of South Park's. But other than that, who knows? Did you play any of those South Park games that much?
No, I didn't even touch one. I'm more sad because THQ held a very special place in my heart in the 360 era.
For what?
And Darksiders.
Okay. Ah, dude, I forgot about
One
Darksiders.
and two were fantastic. The leaked storylines of where they were going, I was so hyped for. Dark Souls 3 was going to come out, and it did, just didn't perform that well. It wasn't that good of a game.
See, they hold a special place, but also a bad place in my heart because they were the ones in charge of all the wrestling games for the longest time. And they went really good up until the PS2 and the beginning of like the Xbox 360. And then they started going down. And then I got angry at them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
also Ukes is a lot to deal with that. But yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think I'll spend a full $60 on a South Park game made by THQ, but you know,
I might watch people play it.
yeah, there we go. I might watch people play it.
Yeah.
Next one comes
There's
from
a trail.
Kotaku, but it was everywhere. Keith David is taking over as Zavala in Destiny 2 to replace the late great Lance Riddick. Awesome. I love Keith David.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's a great pick. I think they said here that he's going to try to, yeah, he's going to do the English voices of Zavala in the final shape and beyond. There are some existing lines that will be in that were like pre-recorded that Lance Riddick did. But other than that, it looks like from here going forward, Keith David is going to be taking over, which awesome. Love me some Keith David.
So happy.
Yeah.
Keith David's one of those people that's like, if I see him in something or I hear his voice in something, it automatically just sends it up higher for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Next story here, we're kind of flying through these pretty quick because they're just like a lot of smaller stories. A few months ago, we reported that Embracer stock took a hit because they failed to make a $2 billion acquisition. It leaked now, and this comes according to gamesindustry.biz, that they were trying to buy Savvy Games, which is the big Saudi Arabia gaming conglomerate. They were reportedly trying to buy them for $2 billion, and as reported by Axios, they did not have any details on why the deal collapsed, but it did. Savvy Gaming Group bought a $1 billion stake in last year in Embracer, making them own 8% of its shares. Back in May, CEO of Embracer, Lars Wingfors, said that the abrupt end of the $2 billion deal was due to, quotes, external factors. Can't really say much. Saudi Arabia sucks, I know that. But not the people in Saudi Arabia, your government. Your government sucks. But yeah, not too much more to say about that, except now that we know, we were kind of speculating when Brandon was still on the podcast, who were they building? Because their stock price took a huge hit after that deal fell through. I think it fell by 60%. So we were wondering, who were they trying to acquire? Well, now we know. Let's see. Next one, Assassin's Creed Mirage, and this was kind of shown off at Gamescom. Its release date was actually moved up. We don't hear about this too often. It's usually delays, but there's a lot of stuff coming out in October. October is fucking loaded if you really look at it. But Ubisoft has changed the release date of Assassin's Creed Mirage, which will now arrive Thursday, October 5th. This is a week sooner than its initial launch date, which was the 12th. This move means that it will now have more of a gap between October's launch of some of the many games, including Lords of the Fallen, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, and Super Mario Wonder. Don't really care
That game's gonna
about.
get swallowed up so fucking quick.
Yeah, dude, that is a loaded month.
Yeah.
And that's just like big AAA titles. That's not even including like any sort of indies or anything like that. So like I said, the only thing that has me excited is its setting because it's returning to the Middle East from the first one, and but again, I don't know if it'll be enough to get me to buy it day one, especially with Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, and Super Mario Wonder all being there too. Like I put my pre-order on Super Mario RPG yesterday, and the guy at GameStop was begging me to try to pre-order Wonder because I guess they have a deal right now that you only have to put a penny on it.
Ooh.
I didn't do it because I
Oh.
got too many games to play already. Um, but that might be a good Christmas game for Violet. That's what I'm thinking. But Spider-Man 2 also. I mean, that's gonna be
Mhm.
big. Alan Wake 2 is gonna be huge. So uh smart on them to attempt to get out of the way of it, but I don't think it's gonna help too much
No,
unless
no.
it's a banger.
I think it would have to be like game of the year good
Yeah.
to
And the
get it
fact
to like
and the fact they're
yeah.
making 12 other Assassin's Creeds right now on top of that.
It already tells me that like the team's already so split. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm again same with the South Park game. I might watch someone play.
Yeah. This one comes from TechCrunch, a little bit of a smaller story. Netflix is testing game streaming to TVs in the UK and Canada. Um, it looks like this was announced on August 14th. Netflix announced today, as in August 14th, it will be testing its games across more devices, including TVs and computers, in addition to mobile phones, where its games already run today. The tests will begin in Canada and the UK with a limited number of Netflix subscribers who will be given a chance to test games on their TVs. In the coming weeks, those tests will be expanded to include PC and Mac computers through Netflix.com via supported browsers. The two games that they're initially testing as part of these tests are Oxenfree, and they said two games and they only list one. uh, yeah, the only one they show in here is Oxenfree. All right. So we know Oxenfree will be in there. Which okay. I don't think this is really going to move the needle on Netflix games that much, though. Personally, what do you think?
Listen, I could get into things about Netflix. Has nothing to do with this. But to keep it with this, I mean, I guess try.
And you can't even use a controller. Like you can download an app to use a virtual controller on your phone. Um,
Yes,
let
it's
me
not going to be good. It's not going to be
let me
good.
link a Google Stadia controller with it. Why? I mean, I'm sure there's people that have those around that have nothing to do with them now.
There's dead equipment's laying
Yeah,
around.
let them link that controller.
Let me plug in one of my plug-in controllers with the yellow and white AVI
Yeah,
cables, and let me use that.
yeah. Um, this one, this next one actually came from. Oh, I didn't look up this. I forgot. Sometimes I do this when I'm pulling up the articles. I skip one.
Mhm.
So let me skip uh this next story for a second while I pull up the article and just say this actually got picked up by USA Today. Um, Long story short, when Overwatch 2 made it to Steam, what we thought was going to happen, it is getting
It
review
happened.
bombed. It is getting annihilated.
It's so like I pulled up Steam because I wanted to look. It is sitting at an overwhelmingly negative right now. And when you mouse over it, it tells you how many is the percentage of the views is a positive review, and only 9%.
Yeah, I didn't even look. I just was like, I heard it was like 90% of the reviews were negative for
Yeah,
Overwatch 2. So it is getting absolutely annihilated on Steam.
it's pretty garbage.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm kind of two minds of this. I'm like, I don't really care that much about Overwatch anymore. I feel like that ship has sailed, so the people that are taking the time to write a review must really hate it. I wouldn't take the time to write a review on it now because the ship has sailed. But I mean, whatever gets your rocks off, man. If that's what you want to do, review bomb the shit out of it. I guess,
Yeah.
because it deserves it. Um, and
I
now,
mean, do you I
go
mean, I
ahead.
can go through some of these reviews if you still need time
Do it,
to.
do it. I mean, I pulled up the
Okay.
article, but I think it'll be hilarious.
So, one is Overwatch, and then as it goes down, it takes one letter away until it starts uh, turning around, rewriting overwhelmingly negative. Someone is saying the real reason we're review bombing is because we had spent so much money on buying this game to play that they turned around and made it free through Steam.
Yep.
Someone made just a giant middle finger out of symbols. Um, Someone said better off downloading 34 gigabytes of Overwatch porn than the game itself.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, some of these are just memes. Like this game is just a knockoff of Paladins.
that's bad
Yeah.
because Paladins. I have a friend that plays Paladins, but Paladins sucks. Yeah. Yeah. So long story short, it's getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So going back a little bit, this comes from Video Games Chronicle. The Metroid Dread developer Mercury Steam is working on 2 unannounced games. One is being referred to as a fantasy title, and the other one is unknown. If I had to take a stab, I would guess that they were making a sequel to Metroid Dread, because Metroid
Okay.
Dread has done extremely well. It's been one of the best-selling Metroids of all time. Um, so
I'm on board.
yeah, I loved Metroid Dread, and I'm also curious about their fantasy title. That that's
I
interesting.
mean, we did say I like high fantasy. I'm gonna keep my eye on that.
What if it's Castlevania?
Dude.
I just that jumped my head because
Don't get my
Metroidvania
hopes up.
because they said
Don't get
Metroidvania.
my
I just thought of Metroidvania popped in my head, and I was like, what if it's Castlevania?
oh dude. I love Castlevania games.
Me too.
Even listen, I'm even in that boat where I actually enjoyed Lords of Shadows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the show on Netflix too. That's a really good show.
Oh, so fucking good. But like,
I
if
still
we
need to
can get
finish it, but
another really good, like true to form Metroid, like a Castlevania game, like Symphony of the Night or something
oh,
like
Symphony of the
that.
Night. Oh, Rondo of
Yes.
Blood. Oh,
Oh,
yep,
I
yep.
yeah.
It said fantasy. That leaves
It
open that
did say
opportunity.
see.
Yeah, it never said dark fantasy. So
No.
and then this last one for week 1 of news. Nintendo, and this comes from Video Games Chronicle as well. Nintendo patents a bunch of Tears. Well, the article says Nintendo patents Tears of the Kingdom loading screen, abilities, map, and more.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that all these patents are going to go through, but they're patenting a bunch of different things. Looks like this is pretty short. They file a patent for relating to the inability of the player to grab an object that they are already standing on. They basically are trying. Yeah, they're trying to basically patent Ultra Hand. And
I
because it's Nintendo,
I guess.
I mean, well, look, I'm not saying these patents are going to go through, but they're just trying to be Nintendo. Nintendo
I
being Nintendo.
guess.
Yeah, I not much more to say on that. Um, except yeah, except yeah, it's
Except
Nintendo.
yeah.
Except it's Nintendo doing Nintendo things. Week 2. This started. This is another Microsoft story, and this comes from the. I went to the gov.uk website to get this.
Mhm.
But I'm just gonna say Microsoft proposed a solution to the UK CMA, the Competition Markets Authority, um, by agreeing to sell its cloud streaming rights to Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft for the next 15 years. Because the big thing that they were worried about is them having a monopoly over cloud streaming. That was their big craw.
Right.
So what they're basically saying is like, we are going to allow a third party, Ubisoft, be the ones to be in charge of making sure that these games will hit other platforms, other streaming platforms. Ubisoft is going to
Mm,
make a good chunk of money off of this deal. So it's like a win-win. Um,
mhm.
it allows Microsoft to kind of skirt by saying like, oh, we don't have those rights. Ubisoft does for the cloud streaming.
Yeah, I can
Um,
see some very, very dirty, schemy,
or
behind the scenes shit
or
happening.
wouldn't it be funny if like next year then Microsoft buys Ubisoft? Because they
Don't
could.
say that. They could. They
They
could.
totally could. Yeah, that is I mean, it's a solution. It's just another thing that just thinks that this is gonna go through. They're just trying
Mhm.
to kind of tie up any loose ends. Uh, and yeah, um, not much more to say on that. These news stories are super small this week. It's just a lot of just general facts. Don't have anything to talk about. Um,
We got stuff coming down the pipeline though.
yeah,
Feel
yeah.
it.
Yeah, we're in that point of summer too where it's like it's all game releases. It's not too much news. Like it's starting to dry up a little bit
Mhm.
in that sense. Um Next story comes from Kotaku. Microsoft is releasing new Xbox skins for the Xbox Series X. And I'm not gonna lie, they actually look kind of cool because they're not like your typical like sticker skins. It looks like
Mhm.
it's like a magnet wrap that wraps around it.
Yeah, I was just watching the one that they have up for Starfield, and I think it's literally just a magnetic back.
Yeah, yeah. So like that idea seems pretty cool. Because I mean, I remember I had like an Assassin's Creed 1 Xbox 360 baseplate.
Mhm.
Um, and then like with stickers on the side of it, and then like I couldn't change that. Like, what happens if I mature or grow out of this? Um,
Here's the thing though. I'm just watching the video. I don't think they're going to be good.
really?
Judging by the materials, I think the materials might be a little cheap. It's kind of like that it's not it's like leather. It's that faux leather, like
Right.
very like think binder material.
Right. Yeah. It says it's let's see. It says it's like a vinyl wrap. Yeah. Yeah. With a Velcro crow like enclosure.
Yeah.
Um and right now the
Oh,
wraps are
it's
listed on,
Velcro.
yeah. The wraps are listed on Microsoft's site for $44.99 for blue and white variants, and then $49.99 for the Starfield version, with more coming later. So yeah.
Mm,
So far blue, white, and Starfield, which the Starfield one is already white. So
you know, funny thing though that I don't even know if maybe you noticed. It's only for the Xbox Series X.
yeah, it's not for the S. Yeah, it's only for
No,
the X. Um,
man,
so
fuck everyone that has an S.
yeah.
Me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, fuck you, Dustin. Yeah, I mean, hey, makes you feel any better. I don't have any Xbox. So,
It's okay. It's okay.
and
There's
even if
nothing
I
really to play on it right
and
now.
even
So
yeah, no shit. And even if I did have one, I wouldn't know what to do with it because I have two HDMI ports in my monitor, and I would have to unhook things,
mm,
and I'm lazy. I like leaving things hooked
yeah,
up.
I'll buy you an HDMI splitter
There we
and
go.
switcher. Yeah.
Um, and the next one comes from
No, final
okay.
corgi. We 100% talk about the S because that's all I had the money for it.
Because I bought the PS5 and then it was, or no, didn't you have an S before the PS5?
No,
No.
I had the PS5 first.
Yep. Yep. I hear you. I hear you.
Mhm.
Next one comes from directly Sony's website. The handheld that they were talking about finally got a name, called the
Okay.
PlayStation Portal. And it is launching at $200. Um, it's going to have an 8-inch LCD screen, 60 capable of 60 frames a second at 1080p. Um, Still looks ugly as fuck though. It literally looks like a PlayStation 5 controller split in half with a tablet shoved in the middle.
I might
Um,
get it.
Dustin, I
I
might
might
get it.
get it.
Um,
Listen, my whole thing was the price tag. If the price tag was a
that is a good
typical like
price, 200.
Sony PlayStation price, I probably would have like backed out. But my thing is I like playing my PlayStation games, but they're up here. I like spending time with Jess, especially
Down
when
there.
she's playing like down there, especially when she's playing like Stardew Valley or something. But I can't play my PlayStation games, and so yeah, Final Corgi, it does kind of feel like a huge cash grab. I realize I cannot take it anywhere with me. I will only be playing it in my house. But I like the thought of having to be able to take it with me and play it like downstairs or something away from my computer.
Yeah. And it looks like, I said, this is only uh logical robot first time chatter. Don't support such release. It's completely unnecessary and undercooked. That's what I've been reading too, is like it's not gonna be as powerful as they're leading on. Like it says it's capable of doing 60 frames
Yeah.
at 1080p. Will it though? And it's gonna run off your Wi-Fi network. I don't know.
Here's what I'll say. Like I know I'm like I'm gonna get it, and I'll give some props to Logical Robot. 100% feel the same. I'm not getting it day one.
Definitely not.
You know,
I definitely not.
I need to see user reviews and how it runs and how it feels
Yeah. I
before I
also
adopt it.
they didn't say anything here about the battery life because I saw some leaks that the battery
That's the
life
other
is
thing.
shit. Um, and that was of course on Twitter. Uh,
Mhm.
Final Corgi, it's a Switch, but not at all. Yeah, it's like a Wii U, but
Yeah.
without the library yet. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
I still feel like $200 is too much now. Like
I think the price for me is better than what I was expecting. I
it
was
is,
expecting between 3 and 4.
it is. I this might be too low, but from like some of the leaks that I saw on Twitter and stuff like that, I am thinking 99.99 to 149.99. That is
Yeah,
my
that
and
is
even
what I would call an ideal price
and
point.
even at 149.99, I don't even think I would be like $100. I would probably be like, all right, I'll do it just to see. But yeah, like this in Logical Robot, it's like the Steam Link. You'll buy it, use it once or twice, and then never touch it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And here's the other thing too. Like the Switch is a good console.
Yeah.
I rarely play it in handheld. I
Oh.
really don't.
Oh.
That's not and that's not a knock on it. I mean, I would play it in handheld mode, but
See,
seriously, I sit at a desk, play at a monitor, and it's sitting right here, and I never take it too many places.
see, my with the Switch is my complaint is the same as yours with like getting an Xbox. My PlayStation is the one that's hooked up to my computer, the computer screen, and all that. So my Switch is not right now, and if I want to play it on the screen, I have to move all my cords around. So I like taking it downstairs so I can play on the couch, or like with this past week with the power outage, to pass the time. Sometimes I was playing the Switch.
I hear you.
So yeah.
Final Corgi. Am I gonna buy it? Yes. Will I be happy about it? No. That is how I feel about
uh,
the PS5 Pro. That it
yeah.
hasn't been announced yet, but all signs are pointing that way. Um, yeah. Next story comes from GameSpot. And I didn't have this originally. It just said that 45 minutes of Starfield gameplay leaked. But now it's saying man who leaked first 45 minutes of Starfield booked on felony charges. The leaker has been taken into custody after allegedly attempting to sell stolen property, which may have been copies of the game. From what I heard from this article, thanks a lot, Walmart. They were just selling the game early.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Which of course
Here's the
happened.
thing, Walmart, game companies, listen to me. Stop trusting Walmart with your new releases. Do an exclusivity deal where they don't get it for the first couple months. And the reason why is because every time there's a big release, Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, I think I saw it for Ragnarok.
It's
It's
always
always
Walmart.
like it's always Walmart.
Yeah.
They always put it out like like a week or two early. And then I go on Twitter and I just see people posting like, "Oh yeah, I've already beat the game."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's my entire playthrough. It's like,
yeah.
no.
Or I start seeing like, "Oh, don't waste your money. I've uploaded the source code onto this like zip drive. Just buy this, or just get this from me and play the game for free."
Final Corgi says, no, just tell me which Walmart for
No, no,
science.
no, 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 no. Final Corgi. No, I think it was in Utah, but no, no, no.
I think it was too, yeah. Um, yeah, that's how is this still happening in the year of our Lord
I don't
2023?
know, dude. It's like it was like when the new systems were first coming out, and like there was videos I was seeing of like box stores allowing their workers to buy the systems before it opened, and so there was employees of like Target and Walmart walking out like with 2 or 3 PlayStation 5s before they even unlocked the doors, and by the time they unlocked, it was sold out.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people can't be patient. Like
Yeah.
just chill. It's literally a couple weeks what? Like a couple weeks away. Like
What's it? What isn't it releasing on the first?
it might be. I don't know. I don't have an Xbox, so I haven't been paying attention. or a PC
Yeah,
that
the
could run it.
first it's this Friday.
Yeah, yeah. For fuck's sake.
Oh
Uh,
no, it's the 6th. Just kidding. I read that wrong. It's next week.
still, that's not that far.
It's not. No, it's not.
Chill, yo, chill. Is all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Next one comes from Kotaku. We'll bang through these last few stories here. Alan Wake 2 was delayed by 10 days. It is now coming out October 27th instead of October 17th. In a press release, Remedy Entertainment explained that Alan Wake 2 will move from its original October 17th release date to October 27th to give gamers who might feel overwhelmed by the releases coming out that month some breathing room. Honestly, though, because it's a spooky game, coming out right before Halloween, I think is actually a good move. I don't know. What do you think?
This reads as we want people to still buy this game and play it to its completion. So we're gonna put it after Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're gonna get the
and
fuck
Mario
out
come
of the
out.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final Corgi. Look, I had that happen with Halo 2, and I've been chasing that high ever since, going back to the Starfield story. Yeah, no shit, dude. Oh man. Halo 2. I still have my Halo 2 steelbook somewhere.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's got dents in it.
We gotta find someone who can program for us like a black box signal virtual museum where we will put up like scans of all of our old shit that we still have laying around.
Dude, I have a Final Fantasy 12 PS2 steelbook.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're gonna blame the consumer.
Yeah. No, I was blaming Walmart.
Oh, 100%. I am blaming Walmart.
But I'm also blaming people for being impatient. Because you know, if you're going in there and you see Starfield on the shelf, you know.
Listen. I threw a fit about when Pokemon got released early, and people were like playing the game. People were putting like full on like the whole ass game on TikTok, and I was like, "Could never be me. Fuck that." If I walked into my Target and it was there, I would have picked it up and bought it. 100%.
I would never do that with any game.
Don't fucking lie to us.
I'm a liar.
If you walked in GameStop and they had a physical copy of Armored Core 6 sitting there 2 weeks ago.
No, I wouldn't have done it for
picked
Armored Core. I wouldn't have done it for Armored Core.
16?
Maybe. You know which one I would do it for.
Oh, any of the Nier games?
If they announced a new Nier game tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'd be on Twitter trying to crack source code. I would be like,
I like what Final Core he said. He's like, "Oh no, it fell into my cart."
oh no, yeah, that is
Oh
totally.
no, the old man freaking out and the Amigo punched me and my debit card scanned and now I bought it, so I guess I'll just keep it.
Yeah. Next story comes from Gametsu, but it was also confirmed at Gamescom, which this will have my wife excited. She was pretty excited for this. We talk about it being the year of fighting games between Street Fighter in May, Mortal Kombat soon, and then technically it's still within the fiscal of 2023. Tekken 8 got its release date of January 26, 2024, which has me excited. I love me some Tekken. It's been a long time since a Tekken. I hope that they have some cool costume tie-ins because I don't know if you know this, but Tekken 7, me being a big wrestling fan, they had a Bullet Club like shirt that you could put on people in that.
That's pretty
and
cool.
I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, not too much more to say about that. Just the fact that, hey, Tekken 8 finally has a release date and still looks killer. I actually want to see a little bit more of that game though, because I feel like they did show a trailer of it. And I want to see some more gameplay and like what characters are coming over. Like Mortal Kombat has shown a ton already, so I'm like good on seeing that, but I want to see a little bit more out of that. I can't remember. Did you play too much Tekken growing up?
I played a lot of Tekken 3.
That's the one that everybody plays. Yeah, Tekken 3. I played so much Tekken 3. And I actually played a lot of Tekken 1.
Was my dude.
I played as Hwoarang. I got to pronounce it right. And then I played as Eddie Gordo just to be annoying.
He was yeah.
Yeah, he's the Maxi from Soul Calibur because Maxi played a lot like that. You could just button mash. And then I'm all the other names of characters are forgetting. Oh, I played as Jin too. I played a lot as Jin. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
last few stories here. This one was kind of disappointing for me. Video Games Chronicle confirms that the Metal Gear Solid collection that is coming will not run in 4K. All platforms except for Switch will getting it at 1080p 60 frames a second. Switch docked mode will get it at 1080p at 30 frames per second. And then Switch handheld will be 720p at 30 frames per second. I'm just kind of like, why the fuck not? Because these are old ass games. They're not getting like a
Mhm.
huge remaster. Like, normally I'm the kind of guy that, like, okay, if you give me the choice between 4K 30 or 1080p 60, I'm gonna pick 1080p 60. But to not even include a
Right.
4K option at all kind of leaves my head
Yeah.
scratching, especially if it's coming to the new consoles.
Maybe they're trying to make, maybe, just maybe, putting in the 4K, because I don't know if you've ever come across this, but when you upgrade like old software, so sure, like when we were playing Mario Kart the other day,
Yeah.
I put in that N64 on that big old flat screen. The amount of screen tearing we were seeing was
That was
obnoxious.
horrible. Yeah.
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 So maybe that's the issue they're running
I
into it
couldn't
was
tell
like
I couldn't
running at
tell the difference
4K.
between an item box and a banana. That's how bad it was.
Never saw the banana until I was on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um we were playing
Oh, it
Mario
was
we were playing the original Mario Kart 64 at work because our work has an N64 in one of the break rooms.
yeah.
But it's on a giant, what would you say? It was like a 60-inch
I think
TV?
55 to 60.
55,
Yeah, something
55,
like that.
60-inch modern TV, but it hooked up and it was just, it looked bad. Even
The
playing
worst
split
part is
screen.
that we were sitting, like we were standing like maybe 3 feet away from the screen too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we couldn't, like, we just kept hitting every banana.
Mm.
Like it was bad. But I don't know. I'm still a little excited to possibly check this out because I am a huge the story game. No, I meant the story game. Oh, the game of the
Story game.
story. Oh, sorry. Metal Gear
Oh,
Solid. Wow, well, my brain's already forgetting. I'm already moving on to the next story. It was the Metal Gear Solid collection. The collection that they're making that has, I think, let's see. It's going to have Metal Gear Solid 1, 2. Yeah, it includes the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games as well as MSX2 versions of Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, which are the NES games. And Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge. So yeah, I've already kind of talked about how much I'm not a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm more excited to play Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 again. Those
mm.
are both really solid games. But yeah, um, kind of sucks that there's not a 4K option. I again though, I'll probably still, even if they did have it, I'd still pick the 1080 60
Mm.
point. So I guess it really doesn't matter for me that much, but it's just weird not to have that included. Uh,
Mm.
in the year of our Lord, I keep saying that. In the year of our Lord 2023, it's weird to not have that included. Um, let's see. Uh, this is another one that I'm surprised that it finally that it took this long. This comes from The
Yeah.
Verge. Microsoft finally is discontinuing the Kinect. Um, the company officially stopped manufacturing the depth camera and microphone in 2017 and brought it back in 2019 as the Azure Kinect developer kit because people are using it for like on the job training and things like that. But
Mm.
they are finally ending that. It looks like they will still be able to buy through the end of October until supplies last, and then that's it. Um,
Okay.
RIP Connect.
RIP to all the ghost hunters out there that use a Microsoft Connect.
Right, right. I never used the Connect that much. I didn't think it was like as cool as everybody let on. I felt like it was kind of
No.
janky and gimmicky. Um,
The only thing I ever used it for was to yell at my Xbox One to turn on, and that was it.
I didn't even do that because again, I sit at a desk, so I did this. I'll do this like because it's right next to me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh, Next one comes from GameSpot. I'm excited about this. Star Wars Dark Forces is getting a remaster. This
That's
is a
so
game that
cool.
came out in 1995, and it is getting a remaster for PC, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. And it will be done by Night Dive Studios. which they haven't announced a release date yet. And it will include many modern features such as 4K at 120 frames.
Jeez.
Yeah. Depending on the platform. And there will also be an advanced 3D rendering, modern gamepad support, as well as achievements. Yep.
That's
And
cool.
like I said, Dark Forces was first launched on February 28th, 1995 for PC and in 1996 for the original PlayStation. Yeah. It was one of the first games to improve on the Doom formula. Dark Forces managed to rise above the Me Too status to become a great game in its own right. That is a quote again from GameSpot. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I love to see some of these. Like, there's so many good old Star Wars games. I mean, you
Mhm.
talk about your love for the original Battlefront series, the original Battlefront
Yes.
series. I was a big fan of the Jedi Knight series, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. Dark Forces is super good. I'm super
Mhm.
excited for that. And I think we said that leaked a few episodes back, but wasn't confirmed, and this actually confirms it. So awesome.
Nice.
Um, last story. Another end of an era. Comes from
Yeah.
Polygon, but was pretty much everywhere. Charles Martinet.
Martinet.
I think okay, is no longer going to be the voice of Mario. Um, he will be, according to Nintendo, Martinet will segue into a role of Mario ambassador, in which he will continue to travel the world, sharing the joy of Mario. The company said in a statement posted on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Formerly, it's fucking Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Yeah, I
It's
just
Twitter.
Polygon saying that is just annoying me. Which was kind of first kind of spurred that if you actually go back and look in the recent trailer for Super Mario's Wonder,
Mhm.
you can actually tell it's not him.
No.
It's somebody new. So
At
honestly
least
though,
as long as it's not Chris Pratt.
yeah. Honestly though, he's 67. He actually
Mhm.
does other voice work outside of doing Mario, so maybe it's just
Mhm.
time that he wants to do new things. Um
He Don't get me wrong, I'm sad. Charles Martinet is a huge part of the Mario games. He voiced Mario, Luigi, Wario,
right.
Waluigi, all the Luigis, and
Shut the
it's
fuck up,
sad to
Final Corgi. I love you, but shut the fuck up.
it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, I'm like, there comes a time
Right.
for a voice actor where like there's some of those things you can't really do as well as you used to.
Oh yeah, and like I said,
Like
he's 67. So
look at the voice of Mickey,
yeah.
especially in Kingdom Hearts. If you like, even though he still did the voice of Mickey in Kingdom Hearts 3, it didn't sound like Mickey.
I honestly thought it was a different voice actor until I looked it up.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there just comes a time where like, especially those high notes, like very energetic characters, it takes a lot out of you to do those. And so I'm sad to see him go, but at the same time, I'm so glad he gets to one, rest, and two, maybe play some other things that are in more of his chest range. Like if you didn't know, he was actually voiced a character in the Dragon Ball superhero movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll just shout this out. We kind of talked about it before the podcast, but go look up Ben Starr on Twitter. He was the voice actor for Clive in Final Fantasy 16. He posted this is my Mario tryout, and it was hilarious. He is slowly becoming
Yeah.
one of my favorite Twitter followers. He also got sent please sing oh, what was it? It was a Taylor Swift song. Oh yeah, it was Blank Space.
Oh,
Yeah, it was Blank
yeah.
Space. He was like, and he did it as Clive.
So
Yeah,
funny.
it is super funny. But yeah, a little bit of a shorter one this week, and that's the
Mhm.
podcast. You got anything you're getting into this week? I know you kind of took a break from streaming this week. Um,
Uh, what's his name again? Ben Starr.
Ben Starr with 2 R's.
Um, this week I am going to get back into streaming. My work schedule has changed. I've gone down to less hours for my second job, so I'm not going to be as tired anymore. I hope to play some more Armored Core 6. I want to start it. I don't know if I'll start it on stream, but I at least will be playing it on stream. and I want to get back into this gym of mine. If anyone remembers, I got my shit wiped.
Yeah.
And I had to start over from like 3 hours prior. So I'm caught back up to that with some new additions to the team, and I want to get back into it so we can hopefully beat the game.
Yeah, for sure. I am actually going to. I'm going to take a break here because you might be able to hear my son screaming in the background. But I am planning on streaming Armored Core tonight.
Nice.
I'm thinking maybe 7:30, 8, sometime around there.
And where can we watch you?
Well, I guess we'll plug it. You can watch it at twitch.tv/chasingchasetv. You can also follow me on Twitter at chasing_chase. And you can follow me on Blue Sky if you're on that, just at Chasing Chase, and at Black Box Signal. Where can they follow and find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at DarPrimeVOTTV. I usually just post some random bullshit in there. Lately, it's been Power Rangers. But you can follow my Twitch streams at Darius Prime on Twitch.
And as always, you can find everything we do on Twitter and YouTube at _Black Box Signal. You can get us on Twitch at where you're at right now at /Black Box Signal. We are on Spotify.
Wait, question.
What?
Before we go,
Yeah.
Are you gonna beat 16 this week?
Look, you.
No. I don't want to.
I'm pausing. I'm pausing the music now. Look.
No.
I
need
will
you
give
to
it.
beat it.
I will
We
give
need
you.
to talk about it.
I will give it a good college try tonight. I'm gonna
Okay.
kind of devote my time to Armored Core 6.
That's fair.
But
That's
then after that, my week is going to be definitely going to be playing because I do want to finish 16. I decided to put the side quests on the back burner finally stopped it, and I'm just going to start mainlining.
Okay.
But as always, yep, you can email us also at blackboxsignalpodcast@gmail.com. And we're now on TikTok. And yeah, so that's been weird. Yeah, I'm an old man trying to be a young whippersnapper on TikTok, I guess. Whippersnapper. Wow, that made me sound really old. All right, I'm gonna get the fuck off of this before I say anything else stupid. So as always, until next time, stay safe, comrades.
Bye, guys.